Industry 4.0 only a niche or only a novel that we are trying to embark. But for the small and medium enterprises, through the electronic commerce is a key to empower the small and medium enterprises as well. As the role of ministry is quote unquote is different from the private sector. We can drive other ministry, but we have limitations. The coordination is a key of each ministry, like Ministry of Trade, Ministry of Industry, Ministry of Finance has to work together to push this agenda through. I think the cabinet is already discussing about the roadmap of Indonesian digital going forward. But I think against the regulation for brick and mortar is not the same with the digitalization of the world. The easiest example is for the taxi business, for instance. In the past, the taxi is drive with quota system, the number of taxi that can be operated in certain quota with quota, but with this digitalization, this kind of things is can be disruptive. But the solution also still ambiguous until today. So this is something that we have to see from many perspectives, how to combine this change in the market.
So in reshaping Indonesia's economy and driving innovation, we still have to consider displacements here.
Sure.
And that's why labor intensive is still a major thrust into the policy making of Indonesia's industrial policy. Right. And again, now I'd like to open the session for dialogue. We have three questions or comments. I'll start from the left. Bapak, name and background, please.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Adrian. I'm currently unemployed after working as professionals. I'm focusing in the health technology industry and also some helping the small medium enterprise doing things. My question is there the one platform that work between the ministers to do the supporting the industry of Indonesia? Let's say I've been living in China 3 years, and I saw the government of China really supporting all the local industry, and they're really working together across the ministers, coming from the industrial, trade, and taxation, economic, and everything. So the example, like here in Indonesia, when I back to Indonesia, then I saw that we agree that Indonesian people can make everything, Pak, can produce everything because we are very creative. So that is the triggering the needs of the raw material in the industry sides. When we call the supply chain, transportation has been improved, but come to the how to marketing this product, how to trade this product, how to selling this product, we are lost. So at the end, someone coming from the overseas coming to Indonesia and buy the product buy those creative product in the whole size, and they take the very cheap product and selling into the overseas with a high price. In that area that I seen that the missing link to helping those industry how to reshaping this. To be honest, I was jealous with the China atmosphere there, because even my son, he bought the sneakers fans, bring from China to Indonesia. He has to pay the tax because the label is there. But he and his friend found the way take out the brand, only the sneakers, and the brand they brought by hand. And in Jakarta, they really bring brand into the shoes. The tax from China to those sneakers, it's only 10%, because they're supporting the local industry. But once we bring the branded one, then they will charge the high tax, things like that. But that is the supply chain model. Back in my question, is there any one platform that related ministry can have? Oh yes, we have this platform, like Pak Minister said, that this ambigu. Let's say the 3 minister or 4 minister have agreed with what platform that supporting the industry of Indonesia. That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you. And the second, yeah, Professor Wihana.
Thank you, Pak. I have 2 questions to Pak Minister. First of all, as you know that and based on global entrepreneurs monitoring, GEMS, figure told that we have 4 stages of entrepreneurships. One is latent entrepreneurships, stage 1. Stage 2 is nascent entrepreneurships. Stage 3 is new entrepreneurships, and stage 4 is well-established entrepreneurs. Related to digital entrepreneurship, startup digital entrepreneurships, we don't have any what we call a roadmap or platform between governments, academicians, community, and finance institutions. So I'd like to provoke to Minister to initiate how to synergize what government should responsibility to treat nascent, latent, or new entrepreneur, digital entrepreneur, or even well-established. Because we always use what we call policy one size fits for all. Yeah? This is not good for developed entrepreneur. So my question is, we do need the peer forum among the pentahelix or fourth helix, yeah, between academicians and so on. This is my first question. Second question is I agree with Mr. Hartarto about so far we don't, as long as we got digital technology or digital economic, it not happen with our GDP. It's not reflected our GDP directly. Like we enjoy using the WhatsApp, we enjoy using Google, but our our gross domestic product still not improve. I'm worried about your statement that venture capital also come from overseas, but our GDP is not improved, only shift from other consumer to consumer, new consumer, and shifting from new producer and old producer. So surplus consumer cannot reflect on GDP. My worry is, do we have to change the methodology to calculate our gross domestic product based on digital or big data analysis? Thank you, Pak.
Thank you, Professor Wihana. The third.
Selamat sore, Pak Menteri. You mentioned just now that, especially in related to textile and garment industry, where there is a movement from West Java to Central Java, which is mostly because of the lower labor costs. Now, there's also in parallel entirely new revolution which is happening outside, namely robotics and automation. The question I have is, what is the view or what is the preparation being done within the government to anticipate what is happening with robotics and automation, especially in the view that we have, Indonesia has relatively weak fundamental when it comes to industry sector? Thank you.
Thank you. The first question, I think, against the importation of goods in Indonesia. It can be a differentiation between the normal goods and luxury goods. So if the product is categorized as luxury goods, of course, there is an import duties. I think what we are planning to do is to give incentive on the e-commerce. So if you buy the goods through an e-commerce, there will be incentive for tax, which is different if you buy the goods physically, which you bring by yourself. In this, the discussion has been many discussion has been made, but of course the real numbers has not been decided. But the direction is toward the harmonization of tariff for all digital product. And then the question of Professor, what kind of businessman that we develop? I think what is important for Indonesia is to create more entrepreneurs, whether it is brick and mortar entrepreneurs or a digital entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter for the government. As long as the entrepreneurs can create jobs. Like in China, there is a saying, whether the cat is black, white, or yellow, as long as they can catch the mouse, then the entrepreneurs works. So I think that's from the government perspective. The financing companies for startup, we don't have quote unquote venture capital environment in Indonesia. We try through Bahana or through others for empowering the small and medium enterprises,